This week on NBA XL, Season 2, Episode 11 comes to you from the 212, where we check in with New York streetballer Headache. Cappy hits the Mecca, Madison Square Garden, and gets the Knicks in the lab. All that and a look back at a classic Knick moment in time. NBA XL, hoops, beats, and life.
Hey, it's Namageddon.
Hey, your boy Cabby.
We're hanging out in Times Square in New York City, and it's kind of wet.
Yeah,
it's all right.
A little bit. Welcome to NBA XL. We are on the road for episode Shaquille O'Neal and Hakeem Olajuwon. And like those players, we're doing big things in the biggest city in the world.
In the next half hour, we're going to be celebrating the spirit of NYC. We're going to be introducing you a player by the name of Willis Reed. Take you back to Game 7 of the 1970 playoffs.
From the land of streetball legends, we're going to introduce you Headache from the annual mixtape tour, and he's going to speak about the ball courts where legends like Pee Wee Kirkland, Pookie Wilson, and Spanish Doc ripped up in their day.
I got a piece of snow in my eye. But it's good. It's good. We're bringing in the new year, and right now we take you back of the week's events in the NBA in 360. Thanks for that. Appreciate it.
There should be no shortage of emotion in this building with the return of Latrell Sprewell.
Latrell Sprewell made his return to Madison Square Garden for the first time. Sprewell was on fire, lighting up his former teammates for 31 points, which was the highest point total by a former Knick in their first return to MSG. It was a good Christmas for hoop fans as Walker and the Mavs took on Bibby and the Kings, and Shaq and Yao hooked up again.
Having fun right now. With the follow. Antoine Walker, his third triple of the day. The Rockets have come out hot.
Nobody puts a body on Steve Francis.
We'll be filming all over the city. You never know what you're gonna get. There's snow, there's sleet, there's rain. Right now it's raining as we stand right in front of the Mecca of basketball, Madison Square Garden.
Regardless of the weather, Cap's gonna have his jacket wide open.
Try to be a stylish dude.
For the ladies.
You know it, you know it.
Now, athletes usually have their legacies defined by a series of games or performances. The clashes between the Lakers and the Celtics, without a doubt, define the careers of Bird and Magic. But sometimes an athlete's remembered for one game, one shot, and one moment.
In the case of Willis Reed, the moment he entered Madison Square Garden during Game 7 of the 1970 Finals with his leg bandaged, completely secured his place in the annals of courageous performances. Without Will, one cannot succeed.
So imagine playing really, really hurt, and you're matching up against the great Will Chamberlain, and it's Game 7.
Top of the key to Reedy's triple team falls down. We got a whistle on the play, and Willis is hurt.
Even with their captain injured and unable to return, the Knicks rallied to victory in front of their home crowd.
Knicks in a remarkable
Without Reed in Game 6, the Lakers blew out the Knicks to force a Game 7. And as he stretched his injured thigh, not Reed or his coaching staff knew if he can play in Game 7.
Could you win without him? Execute a miracle such as Monday Night Pass. Well, I have to be optimistic. I have to think that we could win without him.
And I thought that for me not to go out there, then I would be letting him down. I wouldn't let that happen.
And I think we see Willis coming out.
Here comes Willis, and the crowd is going wild. Willis passes the scorer's table. He takes the basketball. The Lakers have stopped. They're just watching Willis go through his warm-ups.
By game time, the crowd was electric, but Reed was barely able to walk, let alone take the jump ball against Wilt Chamberlain.
Frazier then slows it down. It's picked up by Jerry West at the top of the post. Reed. Willis Reed scores the first bucket here tonight in New York leads.
And Reed has scored that bucket, but he's not running. He's going to take his time to warm that leg up.
And Reed now is outside. There's his second shot. He is 2 for 2. Willis Reed. Look at him lift.
Although he only scored those 2 buckets, his presence inspired and energized his teammates as they led by 29 points at halftime. The Garden crowd sensed that New York was going to win their first championship.
Center court, Frazier as the crowd on its feet roaring. Frazier, top of the key, outside the busher, in the corner, Frazier. He drives to Barnett for a jump. Yes! The Knicks are hugging each other on the bench. Confetti from the mezzanine area here at Madison Square Garden.
Next, NYC Streetballer Headache, and Cab hits the academic showroom.
Hey, it's Nam and Cabby hanging out at Rucker Park at 155th and Harlem.
I love the snow.
This playground is a place where legends were born and made. Earl the Goat, Connie Hawkins, and many, many others. And nowadays, the streetball popularity just keeps going up each year. This past summer, the N1 mixtape tour was crazy.
Yeah, and to make the N1 roster, you have to have like a combination of mad skills, crazy hops, and a little bit of wit. Now, of all the legions of ball players that play here and all across the land, only 12 make the circuit.
And one of those 12 was Headache. I had a chance ball and to see what he's been up to in NAM session. Are you watching NBA XL NAM session with us today? We've got a streetball legend, Headache. What's going on, man?
How you doing, NAM? What's going on?
What's up with a silly grin when I said legend? You're not a legend yet?
No, I'm a legend. I just laugh at it. It's funny.
Now, where does the nickname Headache come from?
Like they said a long time ago, playing different tournaments growing up. One of the guys from 55th, Duke and Tango, they saw me playing in a tournament. I actually got hurt. I had like a bandage around my head. And it's called me Headache. Just as a kind of like a joke, funny, smart remark thing. And after them seeing me play, like on both ends of the floor, I cause havoc on offense, havoc on defense. And they're like, oh, it fits them perfect.
When it comes to offense and streetball, you have to be really creative in how you rap.
Yeah, you got to keep the crowd in it. You got to make sure your move is something that that an average person can't do. I try to keep it consistent. A lot of speed, you know, try to keep it legit because nowadays the moves get like kind of outrageous for a lot of walking and stuff, and they just transcend. So I try to do a lot of stuff that, you know, a lot of guys can't do, but it's legit. So when they see me like that, that was crazy.
But it's embarrassing on the other person.
It's supposed to be.
It's supposed to be.
Streetball, that's make you a legend.
Headache with the interception.
Where does your love for basketball come from?
I guess my dad, because my dad, like, I grew up over in New York, so I'm actually a true New Yorker. My dad was a park legend, also played with the team called Apollo All-Stars, which was one of the first, you call them the Renaissance teams. He played with the Harlem Globetrotters with like Goose Tatum, Bobby Hunter, like the first Globetrotters, like before Curly. I mean, all these guys I got to see growing up. So when you get to see these guys growing up, you're in the park, you're like, Dad, these guys are amazing. You know, like being like the age of 5, 6, and 7. I remember these guys playing when I was like 8, 9, and 10. And it's like, I'm gonna do that. That's what I want to do. You know, if I do anything, I want to be able to do that.
From Record Park to the Fashion District, we're in NYC, NBA XL. I've got my parka on. It's so cold out here, but thank you. You've got your jacket wide open.
Yeah, that's how I do. I gotta stay stylish regardless of the time or place. You know, we're in New York City. You gotta take cues from like Carl Kanai and Russell Simmons, who started Fat Farm in '92.
I can hardly see you over my parka. But the great thing about urban clothing right now, so many labels to choose from, and they're geared toward the individual like yourself, stylish cabbie cab. Oh, don't hurt yourself. Well, don't hurt them. You got so many labels to choose from. You got Echo, 555, Academics, and when you're in NYC, you gotta go shopping.
Yeah, and even though she insults me, I still like having them around because Cab gets hooked up whenever she goes anywhere. So at this time, we're gonna head over to the Academic showroom on 34th Street. It's your man Cabby here at the Academics HQ in New York City. Kind of my man Sabe, how you doing,
What's
sir?
going on? I'm good. Thank you for being here.
Oh, that's cool. It's a nice little spot you got. I like how you come in with the Philadelphia.
Yeah, you know, represent the I guess the East Coast a little bit.
Comes
Just
some
a little
flavor.
bit, yeah.
So, in your words, how does Academics separate itself from other like urban lines?
I think the one thing that we do is this is a company that's been built on the quality and design of our clothing. You know, so I don't know whether or not it's trying to separate ourselves, but it's just we pride ourselves on you know what it is we stand for, and that's definitely quality design. And you know, at the end of the day, it's really up to the consumers who support the brand. They dictate what we do. We do something, I call it the Jordan formula, because I remember growing up, Jordans were the thing. And every time a Jordan came out, whether it was 1 through 18 or whatever the case may be, certain stores would open up at midnight. You had to get in there and get the Jordans because then it would be sold out. What we do is something similar. Every season, we have a stadium division and jeans division.
Sabe, you have like a bunch of interesting pieces back here. Can you kind of go through and tell us what Academics is bringing in 04?
Well, you know, like we said earlier, Academics is broken down to 2 separate divisions. You know, our stadium and our jeans. Stadium being the more athletic side of the brand, the sweatsuits, the t-shirts, you know, the hoodies and things of that nature. And then jeans being the wovens and the denims. For spring, which we have here, our stadium division is made up of varsity sports. So we have things like lacrosse and wrestling and rowing. This is a lacrosse piece to go back to the varsity sports with the Academic Stadium over stitching on the back. So this is again another lacrosse sweatsuit that we have for spring. For our Genius, the theme was search and rescue. So we have a lot of things going back to a military type themed atmosphere. So here we have a linen suit. You know, again, we have the black, gray, and white hoodie with the chopper on it.
The little black house down chopper.
Exactly. Again, with the search and rescue squad on it.
Well, this is real cool, man. I'm glad that you know, we had an opportunity to see all this stuff, see what, get our taste buds wet for what's coming out.
They let you know what's gonna be in stores in February. Get there early. Get there at midnight. Actual stores open up early because it's gonna be sold out.
Still to come, Cap hooks up with the Knicks and turns MSG into his own Midtown lab.
Welcome back to NBA Excel, and I'm hanging out in Central Park in New York City. Since early 1990, when most ball fans were caught up in the hysteria of Michael Jordan, Cabby Cab discovered the New York Knicks. From Stu Jackson, Pat Riley, Jeff Van Gundy, and Don Chaney, Cabby's been there for it all, the highs and the lows. Now, a moment that's close to his heart was the Game 7 series with Chicago in '92, when John Starks dunked over Horace Grant with the left. And by the way, Cabby really dislikes Reggie Miller. We let Cabby loose in the Garden, his new lab.
It's your man Cabby here on the floor at Madison Square Garden. I really got a thing for this team and the basketball culture of this city. And since Spike Lee is one of my heroes, I've kind of adapted his love of the Knicks. So today, while I'm here, it's time for Cabby to introduce himself. I feel honored to be in the Knicks locker room, kind of rubbing shoulders with you and stuff. Hope you don't mind too much.
Don't get hurt now.
Does partying with Puffy interfere with your game?
I think it's an advantage to have Puff Daddy for a party.
Me too.
Because, I mean, that keeps you light, keeps you loose. You just got to, have proper moderation.
I never partied with him. I wish I could, but I never have. I kind of try to stay a little focused.
I'll call him for you and get you on that list.
All right. Well, if you can do it, because, I can't get in touch with him.
Really?
So you can do it.
Would you like to live vicariously through me for the partying aspect?
Just the phone call would be cool.
I can go pretty hard, though, and it doesn't affect me. I usually get 2-3 hours of sleep a night. So.
If he's at church, that's my party.
So you go hard on and off the court?
Yeah, most nights I don't even sleep.
If I could pull some strings and get Spike Lee to be an assistant coach on this team, would you welcome him with open arms?
Yeah, he thinks he's an assistant coach.
I guess on the books, though.
I don't know about that, man. I don't know if that will work.
He is an assistant coach, sitting on the other side.
Spike would be a good guy, I guess.
You think he could bring some knowledge to you? Give you a little game?
Well, I don't learn very well.
Spike is over there strategizing more than anybody that's on the bench coaching for the Knicks right now.
Recently, when I approach women, I get the Heisman pose. And do you have any sort of nuggets or little information tidbits for me so I can stop getting the Heisman pose when I approach these women?
You gotta get better lies. I don't think you're lying to them good enough.
Are you single?
Yeah. Pitifully so.
Pitifully so?
Yeah.
Can you dribble? Can you dunk?
No.
None of that?
No, I can play video games, though.
Well, you better stick to the video game.
The key is just can't try too hard. Can't try hard, man.
You might better try another approach.
Really?
Maybe you might need to tone it down a little bit.
Maybe that's what I'm doing, because I'm coming at him with little...
You kind of almost thought you were going to smack me real quick. You gotta, try. You don't try so hard, that's all.
From a scriptural standpoint, the Lord only made one woman for you.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, maybe I'm kind of gluttonous, though.
Yeah.
Because I am such a Knicks fan. Can I just give you a hug?
All right.
Thanks, man.
No problem.
No problem.
All right, much love, man. I got an affinity for the Knicks, too, man.
How about a pound?
Okay.
2 pounds.
2.
When we come back, 10 deep, and a classic New York anthem is sound bombing.
It's Nam and Cabby making our way back to Times Square. And one thing that's unmistakable about the city is the wealth. You see all the lights, you feel the energy, and you experience the richness of the culture, of the music, and definitely the sports.
New York City definitely has a lot of talent when it comes to basketball players and lyricists. Michael Jordan, born in Brooklyn. Yep. And then there's always the debate between who's the king of New York, between Nas and Jay-Z. But one thing for sure, a lot of talent is from the city.
Yeah, and every summer, someone hits you up or hits us up with the New York anthem. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna hit you guys with the New York anthem in this edition of Soundbox.
For all y'all Y'all enjoyment, a song y'all can step with. Y'all appointed me to bring rap justice, but I ain't 5-0, y'all know it's Nas, yo. Grey Goose and a whole lot of only describe us as soldier survivors. Stay laced in the best, well dressed with finesse in the white tee, looking for white meat.
What a pass. Beautiful. The eye in the back of his head that Steve had that.
We can drive through the city, no doubt, but don't say my car's topless. Say that this is out. Newness, here's the anthem. Put your hand up that you wish with, count your loot with. Push the pool stick in your new crib, same hand that you hoop with. Swing around like you stupid. King of the town, yeah, I've been that. You know where you and your men's at. Through the Smurf, through the WAP baseball bat. Rooftop like we bringing 88 back.
Nice shot.
I made you look. You a slave to a page in my rhyme book.
Stop bringing your man in there. Look, use the baseline dump that. Move, you guys.
Where them dimes at? I made you look. You a slave to a page in my rhyme book. Getting big money, playboy, your time's up. Where them gangsters at? Where them dimes at?
Pass by Parker. Rose. Jaywell. Yes! Back to Steve Francis.
Big block. Stackhouse.
Choose whatever you do. Make sure he a thug and intelligent too, like a real thoroughbred is. Show me love, let me feel.
Give it up to Craven, who brings it down hard.
And I like a little sassiness, a lot of class. Mommy reaching your bag, past the fifth. I'm a leader at last. This a dawn you with. My non-spit, jigging blues consciousness.
Each week, we compile the best plays in the NBA. Me personally, I love seeing players make posters for us fans. From the legendary West 4th Street courts in the city that never sleeps, don't sleep on 10D.
The franchise climbing high Christmas Day.
Francis puts a big exclamation point on the end of the first half.
Give me some head bumps, Q.
The wraparound triple drive, pretty good. A scoop and a score. Quentin Richardson.
The glove finds Kobe in Oaktown.
The alley-oop. And now Kobe coming to life.
D. Miles.
Darius Miles with takeoff.
Kid to guess who. Gerald Wallace with a Christmas gift for the Mavs.
Wallace with the follow-off Miller's miss, and now Wallace and Miller each with 10.
I think I'll go behind the back.
Kid to Martin. 7 seconds left.
It ain't just the altitude that's high in Utah.
In reverse, Jared Rose, air, to the corner. Oh, baby, what a play by the franchise.
Get off me, Leitner.
Oh, what a play! Oh, my God! He jumped right out of the building!
I'll keep this one for myself.
That is gorgeous! A little dipsy-do to the rim.
Thank you for joining us for episode Shaquille O'Neal and Hakeem Olajuwon.
There's a good chance that Em and I are just going to remain in the 2-1-2 in the crew because she's got a lot of famous friends, and I'm trying to join somebody's entourage.
I saw you with the Knicks. You got an entourage.
Well, they weren't really looking at me. They're kind of looking at you off camera, but that's another story.
Happy about the new year? Looking forward to it?
Yes, I have. Had a lot of fun in New York City, but definitely Baron Davis has played amazing, early MVP, I'm going to say, and Coach B out of Denver is doing great things with that Nuggets
Coach of the year, perhaps. A lot of teams over 500, and you guys can actually keep voting for your All-Stars. Brought to you by Rogers AT&T. Log on to NBA.com/Canada.
If you have any questions or comments, hit us up at NBAXL@sportsnet.ca. See you guys in the new year. We got a lot of big things planned. Hope you guys enjoy yourselves. Oh, she almost kissed me.